Okay, dudes. All right, it is August 14th right now. Because I've said it before, I have such a hard time with YouTube time. It gets confusing. So I'm just telling you. At this point, hopefully I'm on the East Coast BDRs, the Mid-Atlantic and the Northeast BDRs. That's where I'm supposed to be, and I hope that's where I am. So, if you've watched the other videos that I've dropped in between, then you know that my Himalayan died. That was probably mid-July. As of today, it's been in the shop since maybe it was even, must have been the beginning of July, because I think it was at the shop by June 13th. Is that right? Anyway, and then my actual appointment, they said to bring it in early just in case they could get to it. Of course they didn't. That's fine. And my appointment was on June 29th. Now it's August 14th. So they've had it a couple weeks, and they have done absolutely nothing. I think I already mentioned how they kept saying we're going to check the valves as soon as the bike is cooled down. They said that for like 4 days. Just yesterday, on Thursday, the Eric, the service manager, texted me and said, we have time reserved on the lift tomorrow, that means Friday, and we are going to review your bike then, and I will let you know what is up. We're going to check the valves. So 2 weeks they've been trying to check the valves. It's like a 10-minute job. Not sure what that's all about. So he didn't get back to me on Friday, didn't get back to me on Saturday. I texted a mean message on Saturday night, and now they don't open again until Tuesday. So another, just weeks wasted doing nothing. And so at this point, I am preparing the documents to enact the lemon law, the North Carolina lemon law, because in a couple of days, it's been out of service. The rules are it has to have been out of service for 20 days. They have to have tried to fix it or whatever. So I don't know. I talked to the Attorney General or the state attorney. I don't know what that's called, but anyway, the dude who's in charge of that stuff. And he told me what to do, and I'm doing it. So I'll let you know how that goes. I'm sure it'll be. I'm sure they'll just give me a new bike, right? But anyway, it's completely out of hand. I hope that by now, when you're seeing this, it's just all been resolved and the bike is perfect and somehow it's back at my house. But I don't see how that could have happened. The point is, I'm on Little Ugly right now because I scrambled to get her ready, put Shinkos on, had a flat, which maybe you saw about that. Like that same stem tear thing happened the first day I took it out. So I replaced the tube again. This is the first time I've been out on it since then. And I'm hoping that it doesn't happen again, because I can't take it, man. I need to have confidence in this bike. So anyway, I don't have time for a shakedown ride, which, before every long trip I've taken so far, I go out for at least a night. Actually, it's always been 2 nights, just to try out all the gear, make sure I have everything. It forces you to do all the stuff that you're going to be doing when you're actually out there. And that helps you see what you've forgotten and all that sort of thing. So I don't have time for that. So this is my shakedown run. I have a couple hours. It's a Sunday. And everything feels weird. Like I'm paranoid that the tire is gone. It's probably just this massive load that I have on it, because I've tried to put everything on that I think I'm gonna take. It's very similar to what I took on the Tat. But I'm not used to it, man. I haven't ridden with a pack like this on this bike since I got back from the Tat. And it's squirrely, man. I don't know what to say. That's why I was so excited about the Himalayan with my beautiful luggage setup, the Moscow Moto stuff. And it's a bit of a bummer, but I'm trying to, you know what? If this is what's happening, this is what's happening. I'm into it. I'm gonna make the best of it. And, you know, I love Little Ugly. I love her. I'm just not sure I love riding her for 2,500 miles. So that's what I'm doing today. I'm also gonna probably go by either find a picnic table or go by the Pilates studio, and I'm gonna do a pack, you know, full what I'm taking video, and I'm hoping that's gonna teach me some things too. So you'll notice right away that I don't have the famous front case. This just seemed to make more sense to have a soft case. It's lighter a little bit, and it's just a little more flexible. I can get it on and off easier. And here we are, already dealing with the slight hill and only going 20 miles an hour. Oh, I can't start complaining already. I can't. So you'll notice my dash is a little bit different here from the Tat. I've got the Zumo set up. I've also got the Duraforce phone, which doesn't seem to be charging. So again, a shakedown ride is necessary. I don't know what that's all about. I've also got a remote for the back GoPro, which I'm trying to use. It's like a Charlie Cinnamon ripoff mount angle that I like, but it's kind of an asshole. And I just stopped to make sure the tires are good, because I feel wobbly, man. I feel all over the place. It feels very unstable. And I know it's just because of the top heaviness, because I've got 300 pounds worth of shit on it. And I know I'll get used to it, but right now it just feels horrible. And I can't remember the Tat anymore. I mean, I'm sure it felt like this at the start of the tattoo. But, I mean, I'm taking all kind of the same stuff. I did put the saw back in because I have been using that, and the axe. I still got rid of the knife. But, I mean, I don't know what to get rid of, man. You guys can let me know, although it'll be too late by the time you give me your comments. But I don't know what to say. Damn Himalayan, man. Come on. I'm so depressed. You guys are probably psyched that I'm going to be tortured for another however many thousand miles and however many days. I know. You freaking masochists. It's weird because I was, while the Himalayan's been away, I've been riding this a lot, and I've been loving it because it's so fun. But you know, I've just been scooting around town, going on little dumb rides, and you know, I was thinking to myself, man, maybe I should take Little Ugly instead of the Himalayan, because it's just so dumb. But you know, then I thought, oh, I've spent so much time getting the Himalayan just absolutely perfect. The luggage is perfect. All my mounts are perfect. The seat is semi-perfect. Oh, it's just set up just how I want it. And then death. So anyway, like I said, what can I do? What can I do? This is what's happening. And I'm trying out let me try out the Charlie Cinnamon mount. I've got a USB port back there, so I never have to put a battery in that camera. And then if I ever mount it up here, there's a there's a port there, and the only time it ever really needs to use its battery is on one of the side mounts. And I think I gave Johnny Powell credit for this. During our inebriated evening, he was like, he actually didn't say power it with a brick. He said, why not just plug it into the USB port with a long cable so that you can stand and sit, and then you're set, which totally makes sense. But then I was like, I'd like it even better if I had a brick in my pocket, so that the camera goes where everything is with me. If I fall, it doesn't rip out the USB or whatever. So I've been using bricks, and it's working pretty well so far. But again, I haven't been able to really test it because I don't have time for a shakedown run. So I think it's going to work, but we'll see. And you might wonder why I need the Zumo and the Duraforce phone. And I'll tell you, it's because I had also gotten some tire sensors for the Himalayan, because I go through these bouts of just being paranoid about the tires because of my childhood with this bike and all the problems I had. So I've got that app on there, which will, it'll alert me when they're going down for some reason, and I can just easily see what the tire pressure is. It's kind of nice. And also, the Zumo is great in a lot of ways, but I don't really love, like, if I want to find a gas station, I'm not really sure how to do that easily on that thing, or a hotel, or a campground, or anything else. So the Duraforce phone will make it easy for Google Maps when I need it, or Gaia, or any of that kind of stuff. Like, I have a billion campground apps and all of that sort of thing. So that's why. But mostly, for all that, I could just stop and use my phone. Mostly, it's just it's mostly the tire pressure thing. I just want to be alerted if something goes wrong with that. Because also, I've been looking for a Moto-Tote hitch trailer for this bike, and one came up for sale. It was really reasonable, and I emailed the person, and it turned out to be a lady, and for some reason she stalked my Facebook page and saw on my Facebook page I have a photoshopped picture of me pointing to an issue of Backyard Poultry magazine on the set of the 700 Club with whoever that guy is, Pat something, I forget his name. Anyway, Future Angel put that up, so you know what I'm talking about. But anyway, she messaged me, and she said something like, yeah, it's tough being a progressive in a in a red state, or something like that. I don't know. Anyway, we started talking, and it turned out that the motorcycle hitch was her husband's, who died in a motorcycle wreck back in like 2014. And she told me all about that. It was very, very freaking depressing. And she said the way it happened was he was, going around a curve like this, and his back tire blew or something, or it had been going flat for a while, and he just went right over and died instantly. And the last thing she said before we stopped talking was, get some of those tire pressure things. And I'm like, you know what? I have some, and I appreciate the warning. It's like, I taking a piss right there? Yeah, it's a road. So this is about as easy of a road as I'm going to get probably on the BDRs. And it's a little bit of loose terrace gravel. And I swear to God, man, would not even notice it or mention it if I was on the Himalayan. on this thing, it's just, everything is a hassle. Okay, I'm not complaining. That wasn't a complaint. I'm just stating a fact. People get really pissed when you complain on YouTube. It's because they're so used to all the whitewash stuff that you get on YouTube. Like most channels, they want to present a happy face, everything's great, and they never want to show you reality. I think Itchy Boots is like one of the best at that. I don't fault her. I mean, I freaking love her channel and I have so much respect for her, but she does not show everything at all. And personally, I would be much more interested in all the bullshit that happens, all the boredom, all the mishaps, all the hassles with their GoPro, which she does mention now and then, but she doesn't go into detail because she wants to spare us all the gory details. I want the gory details. I would love her channel even more if we got to know what really went on. But obviously my YouTube strategy, I think hers is better. I think she has like 1.1 million subscribers now. I have about 3, so I think we know who wins that argument. Squirrely. She feels squirrely. And I've been doing my best to avoid watching any YouTube videos about the BDRs I'm about to do. And I'm sure I'll talk more about that when I'm actually on the BDR. But I just don't want to know, you know? But on the BDR page, it says that... Shit coming undone back here. I'm so paranoid about everything. It does say that the Northeast BDR is the second hardest of all of them, which is a little scary. It's a little scary to me. All right, let me see what's going on. When we do the pack, I'll explain everything. Got some changes from the TAT. Hopefully they're improvements, but who knows? Who freaking knows? Also trying to get used to the heel shifter again, because when I'm scooting around town, I'm not in these boots and I don't need it, and can't even use it if I wanted to, because it just doesn't work with normal shoes for me. With the boots, it works fine. My rear brake is also very soft from the tire change. And the debate has started again over the proper way to secure the stem. Johnny Powell went into a deep dive when all that stuff happened in Arkansas, and I don't even know what the conclusion was, but some people say tighten it down a lot, make sure it doesn't slip. Some people say if you tighten it down too much, that's what causes it, which I think I'm leaning towards that one. So I just have it like a little bit over finger tight. It's not very tight. You know, a couple of people say you just want it to keep the stem from being swallowed into the rim. You don't want to tighten it down. So that's what I'm going with. All right, that's my dirt shakedown. About 10 minutes worth. I don't know, man. I don't know. Feels squirrely. Feels squirrely. So that's what I went with, just finger tight. I'm going to try to find another matching nut and just use it as a lock nut so that I can loosen the nut even more, but it stays there, and so it's just sort of keeps the stem from going inside the rim and nothing more. I don't know. That sounds right to me right now. I'm sure that'll change. But also my friend via the internet, Chris, who has a CT125 channel, or he has got a lot of videos on the CT125. Because Johnny Powell mentioned a rim lock, and I looked for one, and they don't seem to make them for a rim this small. And what Chris said was, you know, you need that for a powerful dirt bike that's going to spin the tire on the rim. These are so wimpy that's not happening. But I don't know. I just don't know. Let me be clear. I don't know. So no rim lock. That seems like a hassle anyway, but I guess I would do it if it would solve my issue. If I even have an issue, if I'm not causing the issue myself. I don't know. I just need a support vehicle with a lift and 20 tubes of both sizes and a tire machine. That's what I need. Okay, if you're ever in Asheville and you want to get your Pilates on, this is the place right here. Okay, here we are. Where to even begin? I guess I'll show you what's on the bike, and then I'm going to take it all off and go through everything that's in each bag. This could be a long video, so get ready. First of all, Sedici front bag. It's just a small, I think it's 5-liter bag. Just got a couple of things in there, just on there simply with a voile strap. I don't know how you say it, but I've got one mount here for a GoPro. Got the Zumo. I've got the Duraforce phone that's not charging. I've got these, which I'll explain at a later time. Okay, I'm using the Nomax Bag. Is it too big? Yes, I would say it's too big. But it doesn't work the way it's supposed to. These are supposed to latch to some sort of point down here on each side, and I just don't have a place for it on either side. Plus the exhaust is in the way on the other side. So I'm just running it around the back here. It's kind of a pain to put on. You have to open the seat. And it's attached in front like normal. And it works. It's not great. It's not easy to get into. But hopefully with the new battery setup, I'm not going to need to get into it too much. I've still got the same mount here. I've got a Mini 3 now instead of a Mini 2. So it's got the screen built in, which is killer because I don't have to connect another phone to it or that phone, which is just a hassle. So that's all good. As I said in a previous video, I've got the Heel Tech in here, which I love. You turn on the engine, everything powers on. You turn it off, everything powers down. So I've got an SAE coming directly from that. This SAE comes directly from the battery. I can't remember why I decided to do that, but there seemed like there was a good reason that I don't remember. So anyway, this one's straight from the battery, and it has juice no matter what. This one is powered by the Heel Tech. I've got another USB under here, and that's to power this camera when it's back here. When that camera is up here, I've got the USB there for that. I've got one MSR fuel bottle. From what I've heard from John and Steve, they don't think I'm going to need more than that. I've got, safely, I think I could say I have a 125-mile range. The longest distance that I've seen on the BDR website is about that, so I think I'll be fine, as long as I don't miss a gas stop, which would be bad. So the side bag, I can't remember how many liters that is. Maybe it's 8 or something. And I'll show you all that's in that. This is my Charlie Cinnamon mount, and it's just mounted with a RAM mount there, which they're not solid enough. So I've also got it zip tied to this bag. Obviously, I'm not gonna do that. I'm gonna find another strap like this so that has a little more security. It's actually pretty good. I'm gonna check the footage and see how shaky it is. But either way, it'll be good enough. And so there's that. I've got I think it's 20 liters, Jivvy bag. Is it Jivvy or Givvy? I think it's Jivvy. That's the same one I took on the TAT. This is the Moscow 30-liter duffel, I think. Or maybe it's more than that. I can't remember. But anyway, it's filled to the brim, and still got the Insta360 stick, and that GoPro, that's the old GoPro 9. Again, that's being powered by that USB. I'm bringing water here, I think. This is pretty heavy to be bouncing around like that, so I may need to get another big strap for this, because I don't think that's gonna do it. I think this will fail eventually, so that's on the list. Nothing going on this side. That's pretty much it. All right, let's start at the very beginning. Helmet. It's a Scorpion X something, and I'll put that on the screen. This is a Freedcom, just a cheap helmet comm system with some speakers in it. I don't use this for anything. I think I've used it, I use it when I'm with Johnny Powell, and I've used it for a phone call, like twice on the TAT, and other than that, that's it. I like this helmet. I like it the most because if you wear glasses, you can pull this out a little bit and get it on without messing everything up. So I've liked this helmet. It's been good. Gloves. These are the gloves I took on the TAT. I'm still using these. I got the exact same pair for when they wear out, and I'll probably bring these, or maybe I'll just wear these. These are ladies' gloves because if you're like me, I have fat hands, and to get a glove that fits in men's sizes, there would be like this much bullshit right here. So these fit perfectly. My tips of my fingers are actually at the tip of the glove. And so I recommend, if you have that problem, I recommend checking out the ladies' gloves. They come in better colors too. So that's that. Jacket, this is a Climb. I don't even remember what kind of jacket this is. I found it for $100 on ADV Rider Flea Market. And it's a mesh jacket. It's got decent protection. It's got a back. It's got the elbows protection, and it's a solid quality jacket that wasn't $600, which is what they are new. So my favorite thing is that the zipper for your phone is on the outside. And so at this point I have a little battery for the GoPro, and my good phone is kept there as well. The other thing that I love is this little sleeve pocket for your credit card and maybe your license. I just have a credit card in here. But man, at the gas station, you are just in and out. No messing about. It's got the right pocket, the left pocket, and I think that's it. Oh, it's got one in here too that I don't use. But this jacket is amazing, and I can't believe I found it for $100. Pants, I got the Joe Rocket pants. They're just cheap, all around, whatever. Pants, cheap is relative. They've got zipper pockets. My wallet on these trips goes in the left pocket. And I don't know what goes in my right pocket, I forget. I love these pants. I just searched for pants that had this feature, which is the zipper on the inside. I cannot tell you how happy that makes me to just be able to go like that and deal with your, once you get your boots on, and it's just, why anyone puts them on the outside, I have no idea. Boots, these are some kind of O'Neill boots. They're very comfortable. I can walk around in them okay. They feel semi-protective, but I have a feeling that the ankle protection is non-existent. I haven't run into an issue yet, but I'll bet there's gonna be a day when I'm gonna be like, I wish I had better boots. These were not cheap. I love them. They've held up pretty good. And like I said, they're really comfortable, but I don't think they have the kind of ankle protection you'd want. So if I was doing it again, I'd probably get something with more ankle protection. This is what I wear under my gear. It's a Pimo cotton shirt. This stuff is wicking. It's like a synthetic shirt. I wouldn't wear cotton anything because it gets sweaty and gross. This is like a special kind of cotton. It's a Bombas. I love that brand. It's kind of pricey, but they're amazing. I've got a pair of socks. I've got some Cole shorts that I love. And I've got some synthetic style underwear. That's it. I've got some long pants if I need them, but this is what I wore pretty much the whole tap. Okay, starting with the Nomax tank bag. I've got this little quad lock, so I can put this there and have access to it while I'm riding, which is nice. It pretty much just lives there unless it's raining. In here, I've got a pressure gauge, some chapstick, a pen, some paper. Pen and paper are two things we didn't take on the TAT, and there were multiple times when we needed a pen and paper. So I would just say, throw that in. Got some stickers. That's it for that. In here, I've got the drone. The controller fits in there if I need it to. This is a DJI Mini 3. It's the new version that has the tracking, and it also has this this remote, which I like a lot because it has a screen built in. I just threw a quad lock universal mount on the back. It's held up so far, and I hope it continues to hold up. But this thing is pretty great. I haven't used it a ton, but I hope to. I'm trying to force myself to use it on this trip, but we all know how that goes. I get very lazy. That's that. So here's the main compartment with all my hellish electronics charging situation. I've got two of these Nightcore 10,000 amp, I don't know, lightweight batteries. These I found on backpacking sites. The backpackers like them because they're so small and light. It's smaller than my iPhone and it's very, very light, so it just slips in my pocket really easily. I've got two of these, so when I've got, and I use this on the helmet cam, so when I've got the helmet cam going, one of these is charging in here. This is a 12-volt USB hub. I cut the end off, it was a cigarette style. I cut that off and put an SAE. This goes out the bag to the SAE on the bike. And so whenever the bike is running, anything in here is charging. This is my nighttime battery. So at night, this will be fully charged from the day of riding, and I will charge whatever I need to charge. Most importantly, the inReach, my phone, and maybe the T-Com from the helmet if I need to charge that, or the controller for the drone, I can charge that. And with this battery, you can charge three things. This is a I/O Magic battery. They're not available anymore, as far as I know, but it's great. I'm sure there's something similar. I'll try to link to something similar in my gear list. I've got the inReach, so at night that'll be charging. During the day, this will be on my jacket. That jacket's cool because it's also got a place down low for this. Itchy Boots has the new Garmin that has the inReach included on it. I don't like that because if I get thrown off the bike down a cliff and my bike is somewhere and I'm somewhere else, I need this to be able to press this SOS button. So that makes me nervous for her a little bit. I wish she just still had the inReach like this, but that's why I like this better, and it makes sense to me. Also charging in here when the bike's running are the DJI batteries for the drone. Also charging in here are batteries for the GoPro. However, I shouldn't really need these much anymore because I'm using this. In here, I've also got all my SD cards and a filter for the GoPro. That's pretty much, that's it for this bag. It's still like, it feels unorganized to me, but it's about as good as it's gonna get. So I just have to live with the clutter and not be a OCD freak about it, because it is what it is. Also in this bag, this is the bag that Itchy Boots originally had, and that's where I heard of it and thought I would like it, and I do like it because it's got so many organized places to put things. It's just not a pit of hell. But it's also got this, I think it's a 2-liter water bladder and a hose so you can get some water while you're riding. And I've used that occasionally. I don't use it too much, honestly. And when you fill this up with water, things get pretty tall and it gets pretty heavy and it gets pretty weird. So I'm gonna bring it. Whether I use it or not is another matter. That's it for the Nomax tank bag. I really like this bag. It's tough. Moscow, man, they're the shit. Okay, moving on to the Onboard Devices. This is Duraforce. I don't know what how you say the company's name, but it's just a weatherized phone. It's pretty great when it's charging and when it's working. It's not charging right now, so I don't know what's going on. I'm gonna have to try to figure that out. But I like it. Like I said on the ride, this is for Google Maps, it's for Gaia, it's for all of my camping finding apps like iOverlander and a bunch of others. So that's what this is for. And for the tire pressure situation. Definitely need this visible at all times for that, just because then I don't have to, when you're riding and something feels weird, well, at least I'll know it's not, the tires are flat. This is the Garmin Zumo XT, and I love this thing. As you know, I use an old iPhone 6 on the TAT. It was fine, it's just that the buttons are really small and it doesn't like lock into a mode, so it's easy to get messed up. You have to press this itty bitty icon to keep it in the right mode. And like I said, fine and way cheaper, but I love this thing. I don't know what to say. It's great. However, I wish that it just worked with Gaia. Like, I wish Gaia's maps could just show up here, because Gaia's maps are better. And the software that you use with this, Basecamp, I used it for 10 minutes and I'll never touch it again. I just do everything in Gaia. I export the GPX files. I import those into Garmin Explore. They show up here, and that's that. Okay, front bag. This I got Sedici. These are really cheap on Revzilla. And I got these because they fit perfectly on the Royal Enfield front racks. I don't use them a ton, but for day rides and stuff, I was using them. I'm bringing a water bottle. I'm bringing, this is my toilet. I'll show you what's in there. A lot of this is the same as the pack for the TAT, so if you already saw that, I don't know if you want to watch this. I've got a multi-tool that I like to just keep around. My buff. One of these is great. It's just merino wool. It's great for sweat. It's great for like dirty hands. It's great for wiping off lenses, mirrors, gauges, whatever. If you get like, you can use it as a headband. You can use it as a little hat. If you twist it a certain way, it's a hat. This thing is just great. It's just great to have around. In my toilet area, I like to have this like right available because when nature calls, I like to answer. And all this has in it is some toilet paper, some wet ones, an empty bag that I don't know why is in there, bug spray. I need a sunscreen in here. I need to make a list of all the stuff I'm missing, and a little hand sanitizer, and another little chapstick, and a poop trowel. Leave no trace, dudes, leave no trace. So that's that. So I need sunscreen. I need a piece of paper. Sunscreen. Okay, side bag. I forget how many liters this is. I want to say it's 10 maybe, something like that. It's just on this rack. That's the one I had to have fixed by Tony in Trinidad, Colorado. This MSR bottle is just strapped straight to that. I was also putting it right across here, and that worked really well too. It was very solid to put the strap here. So I don't know, I've got two spots where I could put that. This seems to work fine. I do have a rock strap around this to keep it on. And so let me get this off and I'll show you what's in there. Right on top of this bag is my rain gear, because I might need that immediately. And these are Revit rain pants, Revit rain smock. And look how small this stuff is. I mean, I spent a lot of time trying to find something like this that was small. What I had on the tap was just enormous and sucked. This stuff, I've been in one downpour and it worked great. I mean, I cannot believe how small this is. This is clever too, like it unzips so that you can put it on even if you have your helmet on. These are fairly, it's not easy to get on over your boots, but it's as easy as any of them. So I love how compact this stuff is. These weren't that expensive. This was kind of expensive for what it is, but I think it's worth it. I like it. Okay, also up top is a little thing of chain lube. I don't know if this stuff's any good or not, but it came in a small bottle. That's why I got it. I was all set with the Himalayan. I had a chain luber, like this weird chain luber setup, so I wouldn't even have to bother with that, but here we are. This is just a little wet bag. In case I have garbage, I can put it in this, clip it to the back of the Beavertail and get that to a garbage can. Then I've got my puffy, which is key. I mean, this is key for, if it's chilly, you put this on under your jacket, you're good to go. It's also great if it's freezing cold for sleeping. Highly recommend this. It packs down to nothing. This is a Uniqlo. It was like 50 bucks. Great. It's down and it's great. This is just a long sleeve shirt. It's like a mountain biking shirt, just as a layer if needed. I've got a little med kit. I don't think I added anything to this other than since I'm headed into the Northeast, I think I got a tick remover. I'm a little paranoid about ticks. I don't want to get a bite and I don't want to get whatever stuff they give you. Lyme disease, I'm not into it. So that's it, just a simple med kit. I don't know if this is enough or not, but it's what I've got. Hopefully it's enough. I've got a little thing of WD-40 because why not? I've got the slime compressor, which has saved my ass many times. I cut it and put an SAE on it. And this is just a quick release because I'm lazy. And my toolkit, an extra strap for when I mess up the one that's holding this bag. The toolkit, I mean, it's the same as the TAT, probably plus some REH stuff. I did get a pair of these because they seem handy. I've got, I don't know what that's for. I've got a little ruler for chain and other stuff like that. I'll never use it. The Honda terrible screwdriver, 3 appropriate wrenches, pair of vice grips, appropriate Allen keys, probably plus some extras, tire spoons, which I wish I wouldn't need, the rest of the screwdriver, spark plug, wrench, zip ties, and then some little stuff in here, some tape, some fuses, some other tape, some JB Weld, some important tire tools, stem puller, and whatever you call this that you pull the stem through the rim. This is key. And some gloves, a couple of extra things for my helmet because they have fallen off before, a bunch of fuses, and a bunch of general junk in there. And also, I always take a rag because this is good for everything a rag is usually good for, wiping stuff off, but also if you put it down on the ground, you can put nuts and stuff on there so you don't lose them in the dirt or the leaves or whatever you're dealing with. My little fake tarp is good for that too. That's it for the tools, and that's everything for this bag. I want to show you this before I take it apart. So this is a Beavertail from this duffel. Now on the TAT I used rock straps and I love them. However, the fact that they're bungee material and they stretch turned out to be not so good in a couple of instances. Mostly on whoopties or tough stuff that's really bouncy. Having that give was not good. Stuff would shift, get me off balance, and on one occasion it caused me a pretty nasty wreck. I probably would have wrecked anyway, but it didn't help. So this time I wanted something that's just pure webbing and very secure. So I'm using this Beavertail. I've just got it wrapped around the back here. It's not perfect. I wish these were wider so it could do what it's supposed to do and lay flat and be a little bit, but I don't have that, so whatever, it'll work, I think. And so far it seems to have worked pretty good. Stuff is solid, it all moves with the bike, and blah blah blah. So now I'll take these off and show you what's inside. Okay, the Jibby 20, 30, I don't know, I forget. Angel put it up. Hopefully future Angel is also weighing the stuff and putting up how much it weighs, like each bag, so I can get a total. Last year I was just under capacity of what the bike can handle, and hopefully I'm under again this year. Okay, food bag. I mean, I know you're gonna say I have too much stuff. I know. So I've got coffee and a bunch of meals that I put in smaller bags. These come in those giant bags that are kind of a hassle. Also, these are like, it's too much food, man. So I just split them in half and made it smaller and made it better. This is enough food if I eat camp food every day for 10 days. This is 10 days worth of food. I've got these for dinner, this for breakfast. That's really all I'll need. A couple of these, I think these are extra. All this crap is vegan. I've blown off that leaf side stuff, which is disgusting. This stuff is actually good. It's Patagonia. I'll put links to all the stuff that I can. But that's the food. So I've got half a journey's worth, or for this trip, this is half. And I'm gonna try doing the general delivery mail thing. I've got a box of this, some more coffee, some other odds and ends that I'm shipping halfway. We'll see how that goes. This is my bear bag. I like this thing. You've seen us struggle to understand how it works, but I think we've finally gotten it. So that's the food. It takes up quite a bit of room, but I don't know what to say. Now Johnny Powell and Tat Steve on their Continental Divide trip, they didn't even take camp meals or camp cooking stuff. I think maybe John did, but they didn't do that. They just stopped somewhere and ate. And while I like that idea, here's why I don't like that idea. I want to take that hour of sitting in a restaurant and ride. So that's really the only reason. Also, trying to eat vegan on the road is not easy. Especially in the rural areas, there's just not a lot of options. So I really want to try and camp as much as I can. I said the same thing in the Tat and it was a complete failure. So I'm sure it's going to be the same, but even if I'm in a motel, I'll cook this up on the porch or something. Okay, I've got the first thing I pull out is my hat. It's got my camp shoes. These are just like flimsy water shoes that pack to nothing. This is my little tarp. It's just like a picnic blanket, and it's great to throw on the ground when you're first unpacking. Put all your stuff on there so it doesn't get covered in dirt. I've got my little lantern. This has always been great. I've got a headlamp that I never use, and I've got a ShamWow for getting some liquid off in the mornings, and just a little knife. I don't even know why I have this. But. So that's that. So that's the first thing that comes out when I get to camp. And this hat is nice because it's got like wires in the rim, and so I can use it as a little bag. I've got a couple of garbage bags in there for camp garbage. I've got a bike cover. This is something I didn't take last year. It's a half cover. It packs to nothing. I'm taking it because I would have liked to have this at motels if it's sketchy. And if I ever work up the courage to do some stealth camping, this will be good to try to cover up some reflectors or whatever. Will I do that? I bet I won't, but just in case. This is my tent. Big Agnes, copper spur. I think it's a 2-person. It's a great tent. Here's my poles. This is an item of contention. Like, I know I shouldn't bring it, but I have used this on all my local rides, like my 2-night rides for firewood. Will I ever use this? Will I ever need it? I don't know. I chipped it back on the Tat because it was just something I wasn't using, but I'm taking it. That's all there is to it. I'm taking it. This is my sleeping pad. It's a Nemo Tensor. It's great. Very comfortable. I've got, these are just little, they're called sleeping bag liners, and it's just like a sheet sort of. And this is great if it's just too hot and you just want to cover up with something but not a sleeping bag. It doesn't take up any room, so I like this. At the very bottom, I've got stuff that I hope I never need. I've got a little bit of Dawn in here with some water. I've got a patch kit. I've got some powder. I don't think you need medicated powder for this, but that's all I could find. And I've got a tube for each front and rear. Boy, do I hope I never have to get these out, but there they are. Okay, is this the last bag? I think it is. Moscow 30. I swear the jibby I had was 60. Can that be right? I don't remember, but let's see what's in this bad boy. All right. Oh. First, on top is my Enlightened equipment 0 bag. I had a 20 bag on the TAT, and there were nights when I was cold. I've since learned, I kind of already knew this, but the rating doesn't necessarily mean you're going to be comfortable at 20 degrees. It just means you won't die. So I got a 0, and obviously I should have known that it would be bulkier, but it doesn't pack down anywhere close to as small as the 20 bag, but I think this is what I'm taking. So the bag is in here, and then this is my pillow. I just smash it up and it's my pillow. So that's that. On the TAT, I took my my MacBook Pro, which is a big, heavy laptop. This time I stole my wife's Mac Air. It weighs nothing. I got a nice case for it. It's got a smaller charging thing. I have to take this for work, and I need it for file transfers. So it is what it is. I have to take it. This will be much better, and it's like at least 7 pounds lighter, maybe 6 pounds lighter than the MacBook Pro. So this is better, but it's still a pain. Okay, I've got this little case. This is for the slime compressor. I'm just using it for my hard drives. I've got 3 2-terabyte hard drives. For the footage, the dryer. I need to get some keychains so I can clip that to the thing that's going on the list. What are those called? Keychain rings? Rings? Yeah, I need those. I'm bringing this just in case. This is the inverter. I used this all on the TAT. It just had a USB hub plugged into it, and this converted the 12 volt to 110. I have since learned from electricity-minded people that that's stupid to convert from that to that, and then to a USB hub that's putting out 12 volts. So I'm not using this for anything unless I need to charge that computer. If I just don't have a plug that I can charge that computer, I think I might be able to charge that computer off a battery too. So, which the MacBook you can't. It's too big. But anyway, that's why I'm bringing this. For clothes, I have 1 pair of long pants. These are cool pants. This is all I wear every day. I wear the same pants, and I wear one of these shirts every single day of my life. Keep it simple. Okay, for clothing, this is it. I've got what I have on, an extra shirt, extra 1 pair of socks, and 1 pair of synthetic underwear. These are ex officio, which are pretty good for this sort of thing. They're wicking, and they dry quickly if you get them wet and all that stuff. That's it. And then I've got this stuff for sleeping, just a pair of cheap Walmart exercise shorts, and a t-shirt, cotton t-shirt from this is my friend's company. This is the least expensive thing they make, a t-shirt. It's like a fashion company. Look it up, Fried Rice. Him and his wife run it. His wife is the designer, and he's like the behind the scenes business guy. Kind of the same as in my family, where my wife is the Pilates chick and I'm the behind the scenes guy. That's it. That's all the clothes I have. Oh, that's a lie. That's a lie. I am bringing a pair of some long johns. These are super warm. I bought these for a job in Alaska way back. They're so old, but these are great. So I'm bringing those. I probably don't need those. Okay, I already showed you the toilet. This is the bathroom. So what we've got in here is a little camp towel. This is a Sea to Summit Airlight towel. This thing is great. I mean, it's not like a cotton towel, of course, but it folds down to nothing, and you can dry yourself off with this, and it dries instantly. You just wring it out and you're done. A little thing of deodorant, definitely necessary. Some wet ones, definitely necessary for in the tent showers or whatever. A little bit more of the medicated powder for your junk. Will come in necessary, unfortunately. Some Brahmer's soap. I brought it in the Brahmer's container last time, and it opened and spilled over everything, and I brushed my teeth with soap for the rest of the trip, so I'm trying out a different container. Little toothpaste, a few earplugs. I don't use those when I'm riding, but if I'm at a campground that's noisy for some reason or whatever, I've got them. These are essential, and make sure it has that. Seriously, if you have to do any work on your bike, change your tires, whatever, that's key. That is a key piece of kit right there. I'm telling you. And then half a toothbrush. And then my wife makes me take all these supplements, and I have to take a statin, a little tiny bit of statin, because my cholesterol is so shitty, even after the vegan stuff dropped my numbers so much. So I got these little cocaine baggies, because last time I tried to keep those in a bottle and they became powder instantly. Like after a couple of days, it was just powder, pulverized to nothing. So I've got them all separated now by the day. This is a little wasteful, I think, but you know, I can save these and sell crack on the corner when I'm done with the trip. So we'll see how that works. And that's it for the bathroom. Am I forgetting anything? What am I missing? What am I missing? I know I'm gonna find out on day 2 all the things I'm missing. The kitchen. Again, Johnny Powell and Steve forgo the camp kitchen. And I'm jealous of that, but I'm not doing it. I'm not doing it. I kind of like the camp meals. I mean, I don't like the camp meals, but I like getting to camp, and I like cooking something and eating and going to sleep. I got these fire plugs. This is the only reason I'm a fire starter. These are amazing. I know you can get lint or you can make them yourself or whatever, but I just bought these and they're amazing. I'll try to link what the hell they are. Bigfoot Bushcraft fire plugs. They work really well. I got my expandable spoon. I had a long spoon that was this size, and it just drove me crazy packing wise because it didn't pack well. So far, this is great, and it compacts down so I can fit it in the bag. Stupid OCD thing, but I think all that stuff adds up. I got my same Tokes pot. I switched to gas for a couple of reasons. Number one, size. If you take the size of the fuel thing I had to bring and the alcohol stove, it really, it was bigger than what I've got now. So I switched to this gas. The reason I don't like this is because it's noisy, like it makes a sort of jet engine sound, but it's not as bad as I'm making it out to be. So I've tried it a few times and it worked great. I've got this tiny little Whisper Light BRS burner, whatever. The other thing is I've got these camp meals now that I have to simmer. It's not just boil water. And you can't do that with an alcohol stove, so I needed something that was adjustable. And this is, and I like it. I like it, whatever. So that's my cooking system. Got the little lighter. That's that. This is my coffee apparatus, AeroPress. I've sung its praises many times. My filters, which I need to remember that to always put there. I filed this down so that it fits right in the cup. And that's it. That's my whole kitchen system. Everything I need. And all these little bags that you see me putting stuff in are just cheapo Amazon crap. Also in here is my little electronics case. So this has some extra cables, extra batteries, I forget what else is in there, maybe another filter, an extra clamp because, as you know, I've had troubles with that, general GoPro hoo-ha, an extra media mod because, you know, I've had trouble with that as well, an extra cover, you know, I've had trouble with that as well. So I'm just trying to learn from my idiotic mistakes and do my best to have what I might need. This is just all spare stuff, propellers, whatever. It's nothing I need day to day, really. I know you're gonna tell me not to bring this, but I have a little hatchet. I don't know what to tell you. I enjoy having this. It makes it easy to process wood down to kindling. It's good for like scraping bark off a dead tree if you need some starter stuff. It's just, I don't know. I did have this giant death knife and I like this better. Got a couple of spools of paracord. It's just to have. I've got some spare straps. I've also got some spare straps tied around the rack just in case. I've got some old Team CT125 stickers and some new, have I even shown you these? These are my new Some Guy Rides stickers. I like them. I like the new National Park Service sign vibe. Then I've got some Jim Beam this time instead of Evan Williams. And this stuff, which I'll explain at a later time. And that's it. That's everything. I'm not going to go into my like vlogging setup or any of that. I've done that before. Not much has changed. You can see those in a different video. And the only thing that's changed is using these batteries instead of the GoPro batteries, which hopefully is going to work. That's it. I don't feel like I've got, you know, I don't have a camp chair. I don't have anything that's really super unnecessary except for the saw and the axe. Everything else is pretty much needed unless I'm not going to camp or whatever. So I don't know what I can lose, and it feels like a lot. It feels like a lot on the bike. It feels top heavy. I think this is exactly how I felt before going on the Tat. So I assume it's about the same weight-wise, and future Andrew will tally it up and let us know. So if you have an opinion, let me know in the comments, and hopefully I'm out on the BDRs right now. I forgot to show you something. Where is it? Is it too dark in here to even see? That's my wife with Mel Gibson. Don't even ask me how that happened, but that's What Women Want from like a long time ago. She somehow got in that movie. Pretty funny. These are all articles about her and her pregnancy Pilates stuff. She's so famous. Alright, see, just from that, here's some improvements, I guess. So, bottle here. Use that strap there. Water up top. Well, that was my shakedown for this trip. Not enough. Not enough. But, it's Sunday, and I don't leave for a week and a half or something. I leave a week from Wednesday, but tomorrow's Monday. I gotta work my ass off to get caught up so that I have everything set for when I'm gone. And then Tuesday, the same thing. Wednesday, I bring a daughter to App State. Thursday, work. Friday through Monday, we bring our other daughter to Wilmington. And then I've got Tuesday for like a final prep to see if I got my shit together. And Wednesday, supposedly, I'm leaving. Do I feel ready? No. Does Little Ugly feel ready? No. Does my luggage situation feel ready? No. Are things gonna go horribly wrong? Yes. But, you know, that'll be fun, right?